bantered about. Joining us right now, Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt. So, Eric, should the focus be on decoupling or de-risking?
For me, decoupling. I think that we've had the indignity in this country, working class families, of having their jobs shipped overseas, especially to China, which has undermined the working class in this country. But I trust President Trump. He's honestly, the most important president on this issue we've ever had in American history. He identified how China has been ripping us off. He didn't go by way of the party line, both Republicans and Democrats, to sort of cede to these ridiculous trade deals that existed. My hope is that he'll open up markets for agriculture. That would be a good thing. You look at what he did with stopping the precursors of fentanyl coming into this country by way of Mexico. Fentanyl deaths are way down. When President Trump negotiates, he means what he says. Unlike other American presidents, quite frankly, they've been taken advantage by China. I think he understands exactly who they are. And I would say this, Brian, the 21st century is going to be determined by who wins this great competition, the United States of America or communist China. Those are the stakes. So I think it's good that the president is going over there to have this sort of dialogue, but I think he understands acutely that American jobs have been shipped overseas for far too long. We need to bring that manufacturing home and rebuild our working class.
We're focusing on Iran, I get it, but look what we've already done, kicking them out of the Panama Canal. Look what we've done in Venezuela. Look what we've done reducing their influence in Argentina. And man, up next is going to be Cuba. That doesn't impress Senator Chuck Schumer. He knows what he's going to say. Everything anti-Trump. Watch.
There's an old saying that only Nixon could go to China, but soon they'll say only Trump could sell out to China. Xi Jinping has Donald Trump salivating at the prospect of $1 trillion Chinese investments in America that would threaten America's supply chains, threaten economic independence, threaten national security, strengthen China at the expense of American strength.
Before you have at that ridiculous statement, President Trump was left with a gun, a ticking time bomb on his desk, and that was rare earth, which controls our phones and our military and everything else that runs our country. And they said, we're going to hold that back for a few months. We had no recourse. We had to come to the table. Since that time, the president spent the last year and a half doing everything he can to consolidate and make special emergency deals to try to get rare earth control for our country. That's what Senator Schumer's party left.
Listen, Chuck Schumer, at this point, the TDS has metastasized everything. That's the only thing that they have, is they just oppose everything President Trump supports. Look, you're right. We have to bring the pharmaceutical production back home. We can't rely on China for everything we need, from iPhones to F-15s. I would say this: President Trump is also investing in our military. China has a bigger Navy than we have right now. Not a better Navy, but a bigger Navy. They're playing for keeps, but so is President Trump. You know, the next generation fighter, the F-47, is going to be built in St. Louis, Missouri. So President Trump understands the stakes. He's modernizing our military. He's prepared for this competition with our chief rival on the world stage, China. And so, yes, critical minerals are important. Those rare earths are very important. And he's the same guy, by the way, that scoffed at Greenland. Of course we want to be able to develop those critical minerals and mine them and refine them in Greenland and places like that, because, you know, China's doing it. They're selling it on the world market. We have to be able to compete.
So I had a chance to talk to Speaker Johnson. I'm going to have the whole interview tomorrow on Fox and Friends. But I asked him one of the big stories coming out of China. They're going to ask President Trump. So it says, I know you have a $14 billion check from Taiwan for weapons. I don't want you to cash it. I don't want you to sell it to him. Here's what Speaker Johnson said he hopes comes out of this.
The president's been very clear about this. The days of America being taken advantage of are over. We're going to have fair trade agreements, and American companies and American workers are not going to be mistreated again. China was one of the offenders in this disparate trade arrangement, and I trust President Trump to go over there and negotiate a better deal.
Because we got to make Taiwan still has to be a porcupine, right?
Absolutely. And I would also say this, Brian, it's very important to note. President Trump is the first person that's taken on this post-Cold War consensus, which is we're the security umbrella for Europe without them ever having to pay for it. They're stepping up in a much more meaningful way. President Trump is saying to Europe, you need to step up for the defense of your own continent, because we have to focus on the Western Hemisphere, the homeland, and recognize that the biggest challenge we have on the world stage is the Indo-Pacific. So Taiwan is a very important part of that. President Trump understands this. Democrats have never even given lip lip service to this reality that we can't be everywhere all at once all the time. And so President Trump is very focused on the homeland, the Western Hemisphere. You mentioned the Panama Canal. That again, get the Chinese out of those ports, and this is our hemisphere. We're the hegemon, and we need to act like that.
I hear you. Senator, thanks so much.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.